Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is the 32 video of a playlist for cloning a Disney Plus website using MERN. In this video, we are going to make the multi-language feature for the user or the client side. So in here, we are going to need some package. Let's check it if we already have that package. So we don't have it. The package is called the I-18 Next. This is the package that we are going to use for making the multi-language inside of our page. So let's see here. Let's go to the step-by-step guide, and then here npm install. Let's see. I will just going to yarn at it, I think. Instead of here, let me see, this was the client side. I was going to hide the sidebar and make a new terminal, not split it, and then cd to the client because we want to install it instead of the client side. And in here, yarn at I-18 next. Let's enter and then see here. Let me see. If you think an unexpected error not found, okay, so this is not 1 it's supposed to be I and 18 next, not 1 or 11 8 next. After we done making it, we will be making some file. So the first file later, after the installation is done, instead of the source, wait a second, not instead of the source, I will make it instead of the public, and then we're going to make a new folder called locals. Let's just wait until the installation is done. So after the installation is done, as I said before, inside of the client and then source, I mean public in here, we are going to make the locals folder, and inside of here we will have the folder for to contain the language that we have. So the first one is going to be ID or Indonesia, and then the second one is going to be English. Here for the English or each of this folder will have a translation. Wait a second. We'll have translation.json, and for the ID or Indonesia is also going to have translation.json. Let's save it. Okay, we don't have to save it because it's just creating some file. But after we create this inside of the public, we have to make a new file inside of the source here, and then it will be I and then 18 next.js. Inside of here, oops, it's supposed to be just js. In here, let me see, it's supposed to be some basic codes or starter codes from the I18 next itself. Let's see here. We got translate your contacts, and then here, okay, maybe I'll just going to write it by myself. So I'm going to import the I18 first. I18 next from your I, and then 18 next, and then we will import the backend from, oh yeah, we also have to install the backend for this one. I will delete it first so it will not make some error. Wait a second, I will see the list of the packets that we have. So we are going to yarn at here cls first to clear the console, and then yarn at the first one is going to be I18 next browser language detector, and then add space and I'm going to add the I 18 next XR X at error and then backend. So this space is going to indicate which one or if we want to install more than one package. Just enter it and then it will be installed automatically. So if you have more than one package that you want to install in a one time, you just have to give it space between each package that you want to install. Just need to wait. After the installation is done, inside of your IAN is I'm going to import the backend from the, let's see, in the package.json. I will just going to copy the package name because it was hard, or maybe there was some typo if I was typing it by myself. And then here we're going to have import and then language detector. I think it will just be language detector, just like this. From, and then here, let me see. I will copy and then paste it here. Import, and then here I'm going to import initial react I, and then 18 next. From the react I, and then 18 next. And also we have to install that one, or we don't have to. Yep, we have to. We'll copy the package name and here yarn add again, Control V. Let's wait until the installation is done. Waiting. And also after we make this, we are going to have some kind of a function. Yeah, of course, because this was some multi-language function. Okay, so now the installation is done. In here we are going to have, after we import all of the dependency that we need, we are going to make a const and then fallback language is equal to, this was maybe the default language, and in here we are going to have the available language is equal to English and then ID. Let's make, after this we are going to make the options is equal to some object here, order is equal to, wait, let me see in the documentation here that we got some basic or maybe starter code. Let's see let's see, translate your context. Here we are going to use T from the use translation to change our language in the front end package, in the front end page later. But let me just see. Let me search it. For this order, we'll have a navigator and then HTML tag, and then we'll have the path and the subdomain. We give it some comma here, and then we'll have a look up query string, and yeah, I didn't find the starter code because this was the different codes that we will use. Look up query string is equal to the language, and then here we have the lookup cookie is equal to I1 and X next language, comma, and then look up from path, wait a second, from path index is equal to 0, and then look up from subdomain and index is equal to 0. Now I will give it comma 2, and then for the case is equal to the local storage. So we're going to store the to store the chase inside of the local storage, and then here we are going to have cookie, and here is excludes and chase4 is equal to the ci mode, comma, where the second is supposed to be ci mode with lowercase m, and then here we'll have a cookie minutes equal to 10, and then cookie domain is equal to my domain, and also we will have a HTML tag. Your HTML tag is equal to the command dot document element, comma, and then here we will have the check whitelist. Whitelist is equal to true. Now after this, we are going to copy the code from here. Let's scroll up, and I'm going to copy this one here, the I and then 18 next. We're just going to copy and then paste it here. Alt Shift Z, Alt Shift F, and then Alt Z. Let's see, we got our use backend language detector init react 1. It's supposed to be init, not initial. So init react, and then we'll have the init fallback language. The bug is true, and I'm going to add a new attribute in here. Whitelist is equal to available language, and for the detection is going to be option. Let's save and go to your website. So the first file that I want to add is i18 next.js is going to be the navbar. And here I'm going to import the use translation from React I and then 18 next. And for the import, I think I will have another import here. Next from the I and then 18 next. So let's save it. So this I18 next is going to be the function, and this use translation is going to be the function to change the language. Let's save it, and then wait a second. Indonesia, wait a second. Let's see in here, scroll down until we find the language select in here. Okay, in this select I'm going to give it on change, wait a second, on change event is equal to handle language. Let's save it, and for this English option the value is going to be English, and for the Indonesia one the value is going to be Indonesia. It's supposed to be Indonesia. Let's save, scroll up, and in here I'm going to make the function. This is going to be the cons, and then handle language. This handle language is going to be handle language is equal to, and then e, so then we can get the target value. And then for the value, it's going to be const value e dot target dot value, and then here we are going to change the I18 next dot change language to be the value. Let's save it, and in here we are going to make a new const. So below of this password graph we'll have const, and then here t is equal to use translation. Let's save it. And then if you go back to the i18 and.js and here, make sure your folder instead of the locals in the public here is same with the available language that you set instead of the and then i18 and.js. Otherwise it will not working. After we set this, let's try to refresh the website. Let's try to refresh it. We got some error. Good, we don't have any error. So in English, if I change to Indonesia, if I inspect the website, we get some error. We didn't get any error, but we got this two uncalc here. We got it inside of here. Let me see in here. So in here, for the fallback language is just, I'm going to leave it like this. It will not set to be a default value. And also in here it's supposed to be exclude case 4, and then wait a second, let me see here, and here it's also going to be local storage. But if we refresh the website again and see, if I inspect, if I change the language to Indonesia and then inspect, then we got some error. And here we still got it, we still got the error. I mean, let me see in the language here, we got the changed language. It is right, it is already in the right value. Let me see in the console here. Do we got another file maybe to check it out? We don't have any of it. Okay, so that was because in here in the index.js instead of the client, we are not yet importing the i18 and.js. So I'm going to import it then 18 and.js. It will be something like this. Whoops, it's supposed to be have the import. Let's save it. Let me see. Let's save and then go back to the website, refresh the website, and then here, let me see. In English and then Indonesia. Let me see and inspect. We got some error. Good. We now have language change to ID. What we have to do is just fill out these two translation file. For the or maybe the English, for the English version, it will have the navbar first. Navbar is equal to the series, and then here series, comma, then movie is equal to movies, comma, and then local, and then here we're going to have local, and then here we're going to have the subscribe is equal to subscribe. So in here for this, oops, it's not supposed to have some commas. So in here we have our navbar. So whenever we want to call, like for example, in the navbar we have the series, movie, local, and subscribe tags. And here we are going to set the language. So for the series is series, movie is movies, local is local, and for the subscribe is subscribe. But the second is supposed to be subscribe. And for example, if I copy all of this and paste it here, I just have to change the text or the language text of the link. So for example, from series to serial, it's supposed to be serial, and then movie is film, and then local is local, and for the subscribe is something like this. Okay, let's save. Now we just have to do like this. Maybe I will just going to make the rest of it. This was the footer, about, and then this is going to be about Disney Plus, about Disney Plus, Hotstar, Hot Stars. And then here is going to be policy. Maybe I will just going to copy it. And here we are going to have the policy. It will just same. And for the last one is we are going to have the copyright in here. Let's save it, and and it is with a Jumbotron and watch page. So for the Jumbotron we are going to set, oops, it's supposed to be some command here. For the Jumbotron we are going to make the Moana, Doctor Strange, and Perception in a different language, and also for the watch page in here. But let's go to the translation instead of the Indonesia, and then we're just going to copy it again because it will be the same. We just have to write all of this and then translate it with maybe Google Translate, or if you are already good in the language that you want to change, you can just change it. Yeah, you can just change it directly from here. After we have this language, we are going to use each of these text inside of our component. So for the navbar in here is going to be, finally we are going to use our T cons. So in here, wait a second, where it is, wait, wait a second. So in here, scroll down until we found the first, let me see here, the first. So in here we already got our subscribe here, but maybe I will just going to wrap all of this. We don't need this for now because we are going to editing the language, not the component. So for this subscribe, I will just make it some dynamic block in here, and then T is, here we are going to put the navbar. So remember in here we have our navbar, and then subscribe, copy, and then dot, paste it here, save. Now let's do it for the rest of the link here. Wait, it's a little bit black, so I will just going to select this. Maybe I will make the basic template so I can copy and paste it. We'll copy, and then here is navbar dot series, and then here is going to be navbar dot, what is this, movies, and then here we will have the Disney Plus. Let me see the name. We don't have it. Oh yeah, because this was the name of the website. And then for the local is local, and then here is also going to be subscribe. Let's save, and here let me see, is that all? Okay, now let's go to the footer.tsx inside of the client, of course. So in here we are going to also import, but I'm going to just paste it here because I'm going to copy another one. So in here I will just going to copy the import, and then I'm going to copy the use translation in here. In here inside of the footer I will paste it, let's save it, and in here is going to be footer dot, what is the first one? I think that might be the, wait a second, there's going to be the about. Okay, so this one is about, and then here is going to be T, and then wait a second, I will just going to copy it one more time, and then here is also going to be footer dot what is this? Wait a second, terms of use. So that means it's going to be policy, and then in here is going to be private, footer dot private, and then here is going to be key and a, and then here is going to be the feedback, and for the copyright here, I will just going to change it to footer dot copyright. Also, these two is forgot the footer dot. Let's save it. For connect is I will just going to pass and then change it to footer dot, let me see, connect. Let's save it, and let me see if there's something else. Nope. So let's go to the jumbotron, slider, movie slider here. It is not in here anymore. So let's search for the movie slider inside of a client. Let me see where the movie slider is going to be. Let me see. So since this was a dynamic, semi-dynamics data, so in here, let's search for the for the title here. So for the title, not for the title, for the description here, we're just going to use T. We'll press it in here, and then it won't be double quotes, but it will be something like this, because we want to pass some parameters in here, jumbotron, and then dot. This will be slider, and then current slider dot alt. Let's see in here the alts. Oh yeah, we don't make it, so let's make it alt, comma, and then equal to the Moana is going to be Moana, Doctor Strange is going to be Doctor Strange, and for the perspective it's going to be perspective. Let's save, but before we save, let's copy the T or the user creation font and then put it in here. Oops. It's supposed to be here, and then let's save it. For the footer, I will just going to copy the import, and then here, that's it, and that. Let's save it and then refresh the website. If I refresh the website, let me see what we got. So we got the, oops, the taskbar not working. Did I do the wrong? Okay, it's supposed to be movie, not movies. So let's search for that one. Put it in here. Save it. Now refresh the website. It should be enough bar, because it should be a movies, because the text is movies. Let's save, and what if I change to Indonesia, and we get our language is changed real time. That means our multi-language feature is working. And I think that's it for this video. I hope you'll enjoy it, and maybe this was the last video for this series. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.